Okay.
Oh my gosh! Don't even get me started with this one.
I honestly don't really have a lot to say about Karen because she wasn't really my favorite bachelorette
Okay.
growing up.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna leave my opinion to later
Yeah.
after your
Okay.
opinion. So what do
Okay.
you think of Karen?
First of all, this is probably the worst redesign I've seen throughout the rest of the characters. Personally, I think.
Even the Harvest Goddess.
I think even with the Harvest Goddess, I think this one is probably the one that they did the worst.
Okay.
Um,
Why?
Because okay, so Karen was I consider her as like the cool type girl,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
like
Oh, she was very cool.
yeah, she was such a cool character. Like just
Remember how she only wanted wine?
yeah,
The only girl.
the only girl.
Yep.
Like I don't know. So okay, yeah. Regarding her design, right? Because the thing is that
Hmm.
compared to what do you call it? So compared to Friends of Mineral Town, there's another character that again sorry. Because Harvest Moon, the Friends of Mineral Town, was not actually my first Harvest Moon.
Right.
My
Right.
first
Yours was
Harvest
the
Moon was
GB color one, right?
the my first Harvest Moon was A Wonderful Life. That one. That's the first
Oh,
Harvest Moon I got.
3DS?
No, no, it was on the PS2 or the GameCube, depending
Oh,
on which one.
okay,
Yeah,
but yeah,
depending
so
on which one
so
you played.
3D.
Because that was the first one I played, and there was like a cool character in that game as well, and that was the one I married.
Okay.
Yeah, and so Karen, when I first saw her in the Friends of Mineral Town, it's just like, oh, like
That was your
that was
bias,
my bias, and
basically.
that was like the match to be for me personally. And so that's why I tried to woo her first, no matter what. In when I first played Friends of Mineral Town, and she had such a
Right,
cool
right.
design, personally, in my opinion, because she had the bleached hair,
Yep.
right? She has the bleached hair, the like purple blazer, and like she looks like the working type,
Yep, yep, yep,
right?
for sure.
Like, cause
Yep.
yeah, and then when I first saw the redesign, I could
Yep.
not even recognize this was Karen. Like this was like an actual new character. That's what I told myself when I first saw this.
Actually, no, I think you're right. I wouldn't have realized that it was Karen too if you hadn't told me about it.
This was oh my
I
god, this is
think.
probably the worst. But I was so upset when I saw this. And I think the what do you call it? Pretty much the Harvest Moon community
Yep.
would probably agree with me in this case. Because like again, not to spoil too much, but
Mm-hmm.
there's other characters that's also pretty bad when it comes to their redesign. For me,
Right,
like
right.
other than Karen,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you have like a very strong opinion regarding one of them, right?
Yep.
Sorry, but like you know,
Uh,
we'll get to him.
well,
We'll get to him
yeah, we'll get to
later.
him later. But there was one character that I was so angry about, but it wasn't it was not one of the bachelor or bachelorettes. But I'll tell you later about it when we come across that character.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for me, I think personally, Karen wise, like I I'm actually genuinely okay with how she looks.
Uh huh.
Because I feel for me, they translated the whole like her as a cool kid kind of like well for me. So
Mm-hmm.
when I saw her spread and said like I knew that she was Karen, I thought okay, she actually has the same kind of like Karen coolness to it, like the more modern coolness as compared to the old version coolness,
Uh-huh.
But what I didn't like was the fact that they removed her highlights because I felt like that was the thing that stood
Oh,
her
yeah,
out
that
of
stood
all the
out.
bachelorettes.
Cause she was the
And that's
only one
what
with bleached hair. Yeah, she was the only one with
exactly.
highlights. Yeah.
And knowing her character, I remember the story of like she didn't want to live in a town, right? She wanted to live in the city, I
Mm-hmm.
think. She
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want to live in a village.
Yep, yep.
So like for me, when I saw her character this way, I felt like it really suited her in a way where like okay, she looks like a city gal.
Uh,
But to me, what I didn't like was that they removed her highlights of her standing out because now she just looks like any typical girl you would see by the city
yeah, that's
instead
true.
of seeing
Instead
her
of seeing her
as a
as a
girl
Karen, as a girl, as a
as a
character.
Karen in the town who
Yeah,
wants to live in the city. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So to me, that was the only thing that was disappointing to me. Because
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
personally, Karen was not my like my ultimate bias
Uh huh.
in Harvest Moon growing up. Partially also because it was hard to get her. Apart from
Yeah.
the yeah, as compared to the easiest who loves eggs, Papuri.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about your take on Karen? Was it a justice thing? Was it justified?
Oh my gosh, this is probably the worst read. Like I said from like in the beginning of this, I personally just find this to be the most painful change compared like to
Okay.
any of the other ones. Because
So
like
yours is uh-huh.
yeah, because I personally think this is a poor like redesign.
Okay, so this is probably an X for you.
This is a big X for me.
Okay, huge fat
A,
X for you.
a huge fat X. Yes.
Okay. For me, I would say it's a tick. At least a tick. Like
Uh,
it's not too bad in my
okay.
eyes.
Okay, it's not the tick. Okay.
Yeah, but for you, yeah, I get it, because
This was
your
painful
whole
to me.
history.
You had no idea when I
Yeah,
first saw this
I
redesign.
understand.
I
I
had my
understand.
face. I had my like palm on my face for quite a long time. Like I can't
I
believe I did this.
understand. Yes, because if your wife has changed, that's what happens. Because I
Yeah.
think for me, it didn't happen to me. That's why I didn't feel as much like hurt to my wife. But I can see why. If my wife had changed a lot,
My only
I'll tell
personal
you.
yeah, yeah. My only personal like the only way they could save this is that in the game itself, her personality did
Mm-hmm.
not change.
Yeah,
She was the
exactly.
same character. Because I know, for example, Gray or Rick. I heard both of their personalities have changed in the game.
I
So
see.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I just hope like that's the only saving grace when it comes to Karen specifically. Is her personality is the same, and she's the cool chick that I remember her to be. I would not have mind.
But I'm hoping that the personality wise is not as if like she's cool but she's bitchy. Because if I remember correctly, even though she's cool, she was actually really nice.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like if they made her completely bitchy or like Stardew Valley, like she makes it very Haley vibe, the
Mhm.
blonde one. I wouldn't appreciate it. Like I think that would be an injustice, more of an injustice than it already is.
Okay.
So okay, an for you and for me. Okay, let's move on.